What's up guys, it's Austin. Welcome to today's vlog. Today I'm going to be talking about the Queen Mary Haunted Ghost Ship. Now I've actually been to this place before. It is very haunted. I've never stayed overnight, which would be so much fun to be honest. It's a haunted ghost ship, like who wouldn't want to do that? I mean, a lot of people have done it and there's a very haunted room on that ship that I'm actually going to talk about near the end. I've done 3 videos on it. I've done the Queen Mary Ghost Tour video, and then after that we recorded the Ghost Deck B, which is the most haunted deck on the ship. Of course, we went to B340. Didn't go in, unfortunately, because it was closed at the time, and I'll also mention why about that. So let's get into this. The Queen Mary was known as a warship in World War II that would transport thousands of people back and forth, and it was built in 1934. They also named it the Grey Ghost, which I think they named it that is because it was, of course, gray, and it was stealthy like a ghost. They wouldn't be able to see it in war, I guess, I think is why they named it that, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna get right into the hauntings of the ship because that's why you freaking clicked on this video, right? With the first haunting, we're gonna start with Door 13. Door 13, a man by the name of John Petter was doing a safety exercise and he got crushed between the door 13. People have reported being pushed by an unseen force while standing there, or they just feel someone touch them, and there'll be visible like grease fingerprints on the corridor of the door. They're actually very visible, like people have taken pictures of it, and it's not just like fingerprints that are like almost invisible, like you can see it really well. And people say you can also hear footsteps and whistling in the night. We got taken down to door 13. I think someone in our group actually stood in front of door 13. I'm not quite sure if I did. I've been to the engine room, like we went throughout the whole tour and toured the entire Queen Mary by ourselves, and then we did the haunted tour. I can't really remember if I felt anything at door 13 because I don't really remember even going near it or anything, but I have heard, yeah, people have felt like they've been pushed or shoved, almost like the spirit is like protecting them from what they went through, like when he got crushed in the door. This next story is very creepy. I'm not sure if this was from an employee or if it was from a guest that stayed there, but there was a little girl lost in the hallway. Someone saw a little girl in the hallway outside one of the rooms crying. When the person asked what's wrong, the girl looked up, stretched her arms out, and disappeared right in front of the person. Dude, if I saw that, if I'm just like, oh hey, why are you crying, and then the girl lifts her head up and just disappears, and then you look down the hallway, no one there, look down the other hallway, no one there, it's like, okay, that was weird. Oh, I've also heard another story. This was from the employees that worked at the Queen Mary when I was visiting there a few years ago. It was one of the event rooms. There was a woman in there sitting in one of the chairs, and they're just like, hey, like we need you to kind of leave. We need to like clean this room for an event tonight. And she just kind of stared at them and just like had a confusing look on her face, wondered why she was bothering them, I guess. So these women, they called down to the front desk and they're just like, hey, we kind of need this woman to leave. And then while they were giving a description of what the woman looked like, the woman that was sitting in the chair turned her head to the right, to the left, and then vanished. And then the tour guide is like, those women will not go back in that room at all since that experience. And honestly, I don't blame them. If there was a woman sitting in a chair and she disappeared in front of me, I don't think I would want to go back in there by myself either. All right, now we're going to get into the swimming pool. This is another one of the most haunted parts of the ship. Now, there's a ghost named Jackie that haunts this part of the ship. I don't think Jackie is just a ghost. I honestly think she's a demon, like trying to trick people that she was someone that once lived. I've looked at a lot of videos and people have been figuring out that I think that Jackie is not a kind spirit and that she might be something else. What's really cool is, and I'll show pictures of it right now, that people have caught in orbs in this swimming area. Like we went in there and the tour guide said the reason that there might be spirits trapped in the swimming pool area is because the roof and everything is made out of quartz, I believe, because he said whatever it's made out of is trapping the spirits and it's making it almost like a portal. So the swimming pool is like this huge giant like just spirit portal where they can just come through, and then once spirits do come through, they stay there. And I actually heard another fact that there is over 600 spirits on the ship, and honestly I would love to know who counted that because that's insane. Could you imagine 600 spirits? That would keep a ghost hunter like myself busy. That segues into this story. There was was a story I was looking up on YouTube that this woman was part of the tour, of the haunted tour. She was kind of just like laughing at the whole thing, kind of like making fun of the tour. It's like, why are you on the tour if you're just gonna like make fun of what people believe in and whatever? Like, she was kind of being rude. They get to the swimming pool area and the tour guide is giving his little like ghost stories and all that stuff, and he leaves with the rest of the group, but this woman actually stays behind. And then the door closes, the group is gone, this woman is screaming at the back of the swimming pool. So they go back in, the tour guide rushes in to see what happened, and the woman said that she felt a hand grab the back of her leg as she was about to leave the room. And there was like something like holding her there, or like something was trying to make her stay there, like something grabbed her. So I think it was probably the ghost of Jackie that didn't like that she was making fun of the hauntings there, wanted to get revenge on somebody. The next place I'm going to talk about is the propeller room. It's another most haunted area, and for a very big reason. Here's why. The Queen Mary was going out, transporting passengers and everything. There was another smaller ship that was coming in the direction of the Queen Mary. Now, I don't know if the people on the ship saw this other ship coming, and what happened is the Queen Mary crushed this ship, and people were left to drown. The people that didn't drown, their bodies were sucked up into the propellers, and that's how they died. They were cut up, and that's why the propeller room is known as one of the most haunted rooms of the ship. I think people have reported like screaming footsteps, knocking sounds, just a whole bunch of different things. The final most haunted area of the Queen Mary that I'm going to talk about is B deck and the room B340. The B deck is known as the most haunted deck on the Queen Mary. Lots of guests have reported seeing apparitions at the foot of their bed and even in the hallway also. Some people have said that their stuff was moved and it was completely unexplainable. Like, nobody else moved their stuff. Like, nobody else in the room was there that could have possibly even moved their things. They left for a few minutes, came back, and it was moved. There's been shadow people, orbs, amongst other things. Now, B340 is known as one of the most haunted rooms on the ship, and it's known to be haunted by a demonic presence. B340 actually had so much paranormal activity, and this is where we get into the part of why B340 was locked up for so long. Listen to this. B340 had so much paranormal activity going on and had so many deaths in that room in the past. That is why they closed that room, is because of how haunted it was. Isn't that insane? There's a huge amount of employees that will not even set foot in that room alone, and some that even refuse to go in there at all because of how haunted it is. Not just like, oh, they saw a ghost and it disappeared in front of them, but they just don't want to go in that room in general in case they see something. And also in that room, what's really interesting, if you go into the bathroom, not that you would want to after seeing this, there is instructions on the wall on how to play Bloody Mary. I've actually played that game on this channel before twice. It is very scary, it's terrifying, and actually Queen Mary is Bloody Mary, and not a lot of people know that, and that actually sent chills down my spine when I actually figured that out. I'm just like, wait, Queen Mary's Bloody Mary? So like, I've been summoning Queen Mary in these 3 a.m. challenges. And also in the room, people have reported having their blankets ripped off of them in the middle of the night, and there'll be like a man standing at the end of the bed, or like this tall shadow figure. People have reported the faucet turning on and off in the bathroom, knocks happening on each corner of the room unexplainably, even knocks outside the ship. Like, they'll say, if there's anything here, give us a sign, and it'll knock, and it'll be from the outside of the ship, which is completely impossible even if someone were to do that as a prank, because the ship is like 1,000 feet tall and it's twice as big as the Titanic. It's like double, maybe even triple in size of the Titanic, so there's no way anyone can do that. Another really creepy thing about the room B340 is it comes with a freaking Ouija board. I cannot make this up. There's pictures to prove it. It comes with a Ouija board, a crystal ball, a black crystal, and an LED light up candle that just flicks on and flicks off, not a real candle. And it comes in this like fancy like chest or whatever. When you stay in room B340, they actually hand you a paper that says like all the things that happen. They actually state that there is a Ouija board in there, and just in case you want it removed from the room and you're not comfortable with that, or you just don't want to play it, so they will actually take the Ouija board out of your room just for the night while you're staying there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there's also tarot cards in all those haunted items that I just listed, like the Ouija board, tarot cards, crystals. They have everything in that chest. This room was out of service for 30 years, this. They brought it back in 2018. What's really interesting is when I did go there in 2015, we had such a hard time finding that room. We're walking down the hallways. These hallways are very long. It's so easy to get lost. It's literally like the hotel from The Shining, which is the Stanley Hotel, which I've also done a video on that. Link will be up here. We're just like, we asked the maid, we're just like, oh yeah, where is B340? And she's like, oh, it's just over there. We go to B340 and the number of the hotel room is scraped off the wall. Like, it's so haunted that somebody scraped the numbers off the wall. And when it was closed, people just kind of forgot about it. I'm like standing in front of the door. I feel like I'm like being watched. Like, I have a really uneasy feeling right here. And that was right in front of the B340 room. We actually got orbs in our pictures while we were standing in front of that door. Like, there was one on my leg, there was one above my head. Even in our other pictures, there was ones in the restaurant, in the hallway even. There was one in the engine room. In our pictures, they look like glowing green balls of like energy. So here is a guest experience that I actually found online that is actually very creepy. When I was younger, my family and I were staying in the Queen Mary. I was down where the bakery was. From what I remember, a group of people were going into the elevator, but the elevator started acting really weird. As that was happening, both my mom and I saw black shadows shoot past us really fast. I saw the reflection through the elevator doors. But yeah, that is the Queen Mary and all the ghost stories surrounding it. I really hope you guys found the video interesting, found it enjoyable. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.